Hello, everybody. My name is Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP. And today on Partner Talks, I have Gene Bornac from enVista. Gene, introduce yourself and tell the people all about enVista.
Thanks, Rick. Really happy to be with you. Like you said, I'm Gene Bornac. I'm a senior vice president within Vista. enVista is a supply chain and systems consulting company that's been in business for over 2 decades. And we really specialize in helping customers in retail, consumer products, and wholesale manufacturing move things through their supply chain. And core to that is my area. I run our Microsoft practice. We've been a Microsoft partner since 2008. And I also run our IT managed services business. So here at enVista, my role is to make sure that when we connect the dots, when we think about those things that people don't want to think about, the ERP or CRM or running those systems after you acquire them, that's my area that I take care of.
Okay, great, Gene. And, we're early 2024. And I wanted to catch up with you to talk a little bit about 2023 in review. What did we see in our world of dynamics that really stand out for you last year?
Well, you can't talk about 2023 without the word that everybody at Microsoft is saying over and over again, which is AI. I guess it's letters, not words, but artificial intelligence has been the conversation in 23, not the reality for us. 23 was an interesting market where we saw a lot of demand for the core F&O and supply chain pieces in Microsoft, but a growing conversation about the customer and really how Power Platform can help us drive that customer success, whether it's through CRM and knowing the customer or field sales and service. We're seeing more and more of that in every conversation, which is different than 22 and before, where it was very focused on individual applications.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our work was really based on can I get these reports out of my system to run my business? And now what AI has done is open the door to say, what else can you tell me about my business? Which changes things because it changes the reality of what we need to do with these applications. And we were talking earlier about data. Data becomes a real key consideration on everything we do now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Over the years, and like you, Rick, I've been doing this for quite a while. People have talked about data, but I think we're in that point with, especially with artificial intelligence, where we're going to start moving from the information age to the wisdom age, right? Where I really understand what's going on with my business, not just see statistics and columns, right? Large language models in artificial intelligence, the investment that Microsoft's making, which I really believe today leads the pack. I think those are game changers because, some of my customers have so much data that if they sat with it and just started going line by line, there are lifetimes worth of data, right? So artificial intelligence will really help them ask the right questions, curate it in the right way, and get the right answers that they need, right? And to be able to see trends early, to be able to make adjustments, to be able to discover lapses in customer service so they can fix those. These are the things that will really help businesses stand out from each other. And we're really excited about it, especially when you link in the Microsoft world really strong core products, and then you add artificial intelligence on the side to it with the Copilot model. It's exciting for us. These are new times for us, so we're trying to take this stepwise. Like, think about your data first, think about the proper journey to the cloud, think about turning on AI and starting to understand what you're trying to achieve. But I think 24, 25, 26 are going to be some of the most exciting years that we've had in business systems and applications in my career.
I have to agree with you. And I think it's going to put a different type of pressure on a partner, right? Because we're going to have to not only go in and get, all the systems working together, but, we're going to be the plumbers, we're going to be the electricians, is working, but they're also going to depend on us to say, do we have enough water pressure to run our machine, which is going to be that data going through, or do we have enough current coming through to run everything we want? Because the information that runs through our systems is now going to be the focus as opposed to just the systems working together.
Totally. I think it takes us from system integration to really, it's about change and outcomes, right? So we're very good, as are most Microsoft partners, at putting in the applications, right? But the questions that we need now to ask is, what are you trying to achieve? Why are you trying to achieve it? And then you start to think about it differently. Sure, I can configure the application, any number of applications, to do the things that I think I want them to do. But why am I doing those? And what are the outcomes that it causes, right? And artificial intelligence, if we build the prompts the right way and ask it the questions in the way we want to achieve our answers, is going to tell me things. It's going to say to me, Rick, we're seeing things happening, and 18 weeks from now, you're going to have this challenge because we anticipate, and that model can look at the variables that I could never sort through. So I think that it's exciting. Now, for our customers, they're going to have to start thinking about the why around their business as well and what they're trying to achieve, right? Because it's no longer, I want to print checks. It's, how do I want to achieve the right financial results? How do I want my cash flow to look? How do I want to do X, Y, and Z? And now start asking those questions. I think it's exciting for us because it really moves us from the realm of simply trying to achieve projects based on a specific timeline and a specific set of configurations, and now really start thinking about the value it is to the business and how we can change the businesses.
And you brought up a good point because you're in the supply chain business. Really, how am I going to interact with my customers? How do they want to interact with me in the future? And my supply chain. There's a lot of moving parts in a supply chain. How is this all going to work together? And it's really going to be, inside of our cloud. And we've got to make sure we can get our customers there.
Totally right. So a lot of times business breaks down into silos, and people think of, okay, well, that's a supply chain challenge or that's a customer service challenge. But at the end of the day, most of us are in the business of acquiring a product, moving a product, and putting it in a customer's hands, right? It's the biggest pieces of our economy, right? Especially when you layer the services on top of it, it gets to be huge. But prior to the pandemic, nobody even seemed to know that supply chain existed, right? Outside of those of us who were touching on a daily basis. Now, I talk to consumers and they're like, oh, yeah, well, that was stuck in a port in China. It's like, why do they know that? Because there's visibility and there's data. So now we've got that information. How do we use it to the advantage of the company to serve that customer in a profitable way? I think it's pretty exciting, right? We've talked about the information age. We're finally at a point where the information could actually be used for something other than printing out a report for the CEO on Monday morning to show them we're out of stock on our key items.
So, Gene, any big predictions for 2024 as a Microsoft partner?
Well, I think that from our point of view, we see solid demand around Power Platform because Microsoft has really, the way they've drawn out the future of their applications with AI. Power Platform is the glue that holds it together. So we're going to see that really grow. I think we'll see more conceptually because of artificial intelligence and because of Microsoft's point of view that they have one Microsoft Copilot that really runs all the Copilots, that we're going to see a lot of growth in integration among different applications, right? So we're going to see a lot of Microsoft users who are on M365 start to ask, well, why am I not using these other things? Because now Copilot can help me leverage all of it. I think that from a core Microsoft point of view, I predict that Satya Nadella, the CEO at Microsoft, won't be able to give a speech without saying AI 7 times in the first 2 paragraphs. And I think that we'll see that all year. And I think it's great, right? It creates some visibility, but we're going to see new large language models introduced probably in 24. It's going to take this to the next level. And for those of us who are partners that are investing in the space, I think it's going to be a crazy year and good for our customers.
And from my perspective, I think 2024 is going to be year for data, right? How do we get our data in shape so we can use it with all these tools? So, Gene, thanks, and we'll be back to you sometime in 2024 to find out more about what's going on with enVista, and maybe we'll get your predictions for 2025.
Rick, thank you very much and have a great 2024. I look forward to speaking again.
Thanks, and bye for now.